Hey everybody, this is Brant from Nutrition First Coaching, here with Harrison again.
Howdy.
And now we're gonna finish off getting this meal put together, kind of three-part meal, right?
Yep, three
Cool.
parts. We've got our starch, our
Nice.
protein, and now we're on to more of the veggie aspect of it. And for me, these are a great go-to because they are super, I think they're delicious and they're really quick cooking. So I'm gonna, show you guys how to treat these and cook them. And it's
Yeah.
super simple.
Especially order probably matters too, right? We got the other stuff cooking.
Absolutely.
Now we're on to this. This will be the quickest part,
You're
and then
on
the
it.
other stuff will be done.
Yep.
Why not?
We've got about, 10 minutes on the chicken, and we'll get this all prepped, cut, and once that chicken's about 5 minutes away, we'll turn on our saute pan, get it hot, but we'll show you that when we get there. First thing, we're gonna treat this kale. So it's been washed, cleaned, dried, and if you look at this kale, there's a big stem that runs through the back of it, right? And it starts to get thicker towards the base. You can kind of pop that right there, and then we're just gonna strip that kale of that stem. These are great. I used to juice these actually. I used to save all my kale and charred stems and juice them. But if they've got to hit the compost or the trash, it is what it is. So we're gonna de-stem all this real quick.
It's always blew my mind about kale is all the varieties of different kale, and then how some of them, like this stem would be so thick.
So thick.
Crazy.
Usually on the conventional curly kale, this stuff, it's got that thick stem. So, it's all right. If you get a little bit in there, it'll cook down. It'll be good. Nothing to be scared of.
Yeah.
Don't want to throw that away. All right, so we're good. We've got our kale off the stem, and then we're gonna just, cut it down just a little bit, just so it's not, all long and kind of hard to eat or hard to work with. Just a nice chop. That's all we're doing.
Yeah, because that stuff shrinks so much when you cook it.
Yeah,
It's
it does.
Like you barely have to do anything to it.
It's like spinach. If you've ever cooked spinach, it's just, I'm sure you have. And I'm gonna go right into the bowl that had a little bit of leftover seasoning from my starches, my potatoes and my root veg. So let's see, just bunching it up and cutting it. Nothing too specific there. You just want it in smaller pieces than whole leaves. There, that's it. You're just gonna let it sit for a second, and when we're ready to saute it up. And a good way to test this is, we call it a stem test. Just wait a little bit, and then you're just gonna take a little piece of your veg and eventually throw it in there. And if it doesn't crackle and sizzle, like, oh no, then it's not ready yet. And I know that this isn't ready yet, so I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah, I definitely add stuff too quick. I'm like, oh, it's melted, go.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
throw it all in there, and then.
With the exception of eggs, you always want to go into a hot pan.
Okay.
Yeah. Chicken's about 3 minutes out. We've got our pan hot. We're gonna saute this, and it should all come out pretty much together.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. See that? Not a little bit.
It starts to. Okay.
You want a little bit more. A little bit more than that. It's just all about patience.
So when you're cooking something like this, do you get it in there and then cover it too, or do you typically?
No, you don't want to cover it.
Okay.
Because again, that lid is gonna trap that moisture, and it's gonna, with the oil and everything, it'll cause it to sizzle and a bunch of stuff. All right, right here you see the pan, it's starting to smoke.
Oh yeah.
All right, it's not burnt, it means it's good to go. And don't be scared, you wanna get a big handful in there to cover the whole bottom so it really doesn't spit out. Just like that.
Sweet. That would probably make my house scared if I was doing that. Like, what are you doing?
And then we've got some tongs here. Tongs are good. We talked about spoons, spatulas. Those are great things to use. And I'm just gonna give it a light stir, just kind of ruffle it up. But we really want to get some color on that initial, when we put it down, the initial throwdown of the kale, we want it to get some color on there. Because from there on out, it's losing heat in the pan.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, it darkens up a lot. Huh?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's take a look. Keep going. And you don't need you know, you don't need to put water in here, broth, or anything like that. This vegetable has enough liquid that it's gonna take care of itself.
Yeah, I've made that mistake enough times where I'm like, oh, I gotta add some liquid, and then as it cooks down, it releases all its liquid, and then it's like in this soup.
Yep.
Like, ups.
Exactly.
Ruin that.
And there's a preference here too. You know, some people like them really, you know, sauteed down to where they're completely wilted and break apart easy. And I like them like that sometimes. And then sometimes I like them almost where they're at right now.
Yeah.
You know, where
still has a little crunch to it.
A little
from
crunch.
the veins.
You know, you might get some of that raw nutrient in there. It's not completely cooked out.
Yeah, it's crazy how quick that cooks.
Yep. All right, now I'm just gonna reduce the heat a little bit, right, by half, and just kind of let them hang out, and they'll take care of themselves.
Nice.
For this, all we're gonna do is just hit it with a little. You really just need a little bit of seasoning for this. Remember how much salt we've put on everything else. So when the meal comes together, it's your daily amount.
Yeah. Yeah, probably, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which there's a little debate back and forth. They're looking at like what's the total daily sodium intake, and it's going up. It went down for a long time, but still, the more natural sources you can get it in a meal with all these other things mixed together, slows the digestion, slows the absorption, all that stuff's beneficial versus in a bag of chips.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so.
Yeah, and I'm sure the salt, you know, there's different salts. I've cooked with quite a few. This one I'm using is a coarse Mediterranean sea salt. What do you like to use?
You know, I like that one. A pink Himalayan sea salt has a little bit, they looked at kind of like the mineral profile, and that one typically has a higher mineral profile. So maybe you're getting a little bit more of those kind of little micronutrients in there from the profile of the salt. You know, and there's even benefits to just your standard table salt.
The iodized, right?
Yep, exactly.
You need a little bit of iodine in your diet.
Your little blue package with, I can't think of what the little
Morton,
symbol is on it. Yeah, there you
Morton,
go. Yeah, exactly.
the umbrella.
Morton, that's right.
All right, so I killed the heat. We're good to go.
Nice.
Let's
see what our veggies look like here.
Yeah. You want to go in the oven?
Yeah. Maybe we'll stick the dog in the oven.
Oh.
I'll let you get it out. Right. I don't know what we're.
We're good.
I feel like most chefs is like their hands are
tempered.
Yeah, insensate to pain and heat.
All right, so we're checking out our chicken. I'm just gonna give it a little poke with my finger. All right, that's just about done. I can tell by looking at these vegetables they are not where I want them yet. So, let's see. Yeah, these vegetables have about another, honestly, about 5 minutes. This chicken, about another 2 minutes. So, if something like that happens and they don't come out at the exact same time, you know, just we'll pull the chicken out. We'll put a little foil over the top. It'll stay warm, and we'll let the veggies finish. You know.
Nice. Right, man. Can't wait to eat it. Sounds delicious.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah. Hey, this is Brandon, Nutrition First Coaching. If you'd like more content like this, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and all our other social media outlets at Nutrition First Coaching.